What's going on, guys? ¿Cómo están? BugaLuis here and welcome back to another video here on the channel. I'm sorry the redundancy. Perhaps you may have already seen a video like this uploaded by TalkFCV. I've seen it on my newsfeed, but until now I haven't watched it, so hopefully I don't cover the same points that he did on his. Today we're gonna cover 5 different things that we've learned about that Villarreal game, and most particularly 5 things which I think I didn't include on that match reaction I made yesterday, and 5 things I would like to go a little more in depth. So if you're ready for that, well, let's get right into it. And one more thing before starting off this video, be sure to check out our friends at Golazo Jersey. Links are also gonna be in the description down below. They're a very good place to get cheap, reliable, quality footballing kits, so go there and get yours. So the first thing that I want to comment on is a player which I missed out completely, and one player which honestly has been getting my eye, but I never thought that I needed to talk too much about him, because eventually he was going to return to his level, but he hasn't done that. That player is Arthur. I believe that Arthur is struggling a little bit, not in the sense that he has been terrible, no, he's still very good, but we've just become accustomed to, you know, having Arthur be one of the best midfielders in La Liga in the very first, like 5-6 months at Barcelona, but after that he has slowly started to decrease. You could say that it's also due to the injury, but this is, you can compare it very much to the South American leagues, you know, in the Serie A in Brazil, in the Brasileirao. He never really played 90 minutes with Grêmio, and most of the time he was substituted. And now Valverde is seeing that, and he's substituting Arthur around the 70th minute mark every single time. That is something we really must point out, because he is a crucial player to our midfield. And we've already talked about how much Barcelona struggled when he was not in there. And now that we have him, we have to make sure that we can get the most of him in the very first, like I said, 70 minutes, because after that he's gonna be taken out. This is something that with the years, and certainly with him playing at higher intensity, with harder opposition, he's gonna get accustomed to, and most importantly his body's gonna get accustomed to playing for longer, playing harder, running more, all of those things. So this is something I just wanted to mention, something I wanted to pinpoint, and now guys, I want your opinions in the comment box down below. Have you noticed that Arthur has been slowing down recently? But I just don't think it's a topic to really worry. I just wanted to put it out there and to keep it in mind. In number 2, I'm gonna go with Philippe Coutinho, another Brazilian in our squad. And this is going to talk about how Coutinho just can work in this Barcelona team, because we can see that Coutinho can work as a left winger yesterday against Villarreal, and we also saw how he could work as a midfielder against Espanyol. In both situations, Coutinho works when he has a lot of space in front of him, where he has the ability to dribble and decide for his own. He doesn't need to rely on what other teammates are doing, but this only happens when Messi is not on the field. This is something that we really must keep in mind, and I believe that honestly it's not a bad thing. Lionel Messi will gonna slow eventually, you know, he's 31 years old now, he's gonna be 32 next year, and so on and so forth. Philippe Coutinho right now is what, 25, 26? So as Messi keeps slowing down, I believe that Coutinho could eventually take his place. I'm not saying to become the new number 10 of Barcelona, but eventually try to do a role similar to that. When we have Coutinho and Messi both in the same team, they overlap and they really can't express themselves as used to. And of course, Lionel Messi is going to have more priority when it comes to, you know, finding the pockets of space, being the player to dribble from the midfield. He's going to be the main guy. And Philippe Coutinho is going to be kind of like relegated to just being an out-and-out winger. That is a job that he just doesn't do well. So leading now into my third point, and I want to talk about Malcolm here. The positioning on when we have an attacking midfielder and someone like a winger, be it Ousmane Dembélé or Malcolm, just adds that perfect kind of like dynamic to the front three. I'm saying this because we've always had this, you know, we've had Luis Suarez, the main center forward, we've had Messi, the kind of like advanced attacking midfielder, and then we've had someone like Neymar being the out-and-out winger. In Barcelona, we've had that with Dembélé, we can have that with Malcolm, but if we have Coutinho, then we change completely how we work. And we just find ourselves being just in a nexus, just clocking up the midfield and not letting anything happen. That's why perhaps in some games against Espanyol, it was really hard to break them down until Malcolm entered the field. So that is something that I want Valverde to do, to keep in mind, that Coutinho and Messi in the same team, they really do not work. And Malcolm does work. Malcolm has been absolutely outstanding since he's given his chance against Espanyol, doing an assist in that game and now assisting and scoring one more. Plus in this game he has gotten his first full game, I believe, with Barcelona, apart from, you know, Copa del Rey matches perhaps, or even though that Supercopa de Catalunya that we lost against Girona. Here, Malcolm really expressed himself like a wonderful winger. He can play for the left, He can play for the right. He played for the right when Coutinho was on the field. Then he played for the left when Messi was on the field. And he just did incredibly well. There are lapses in concentration that I think he needs to improve, especially also when coming back and defend whenever someone like Sergio Roberto goes on a run. But those are things that you learn as much as you play in the game. And now I will encourage Valverde to actually start Malcolm ahead of Coutinho in that game against Manchester United and perhaps even Atletico Madrid. Who knows, but that's just my opinion. Against Manchester United, we need to avoid that thing of having two advanced midfielders. We cannot have Coutinho and Messi in the same team. Malcolm will surprise United. I'm telling you that because they're going to be thinking about Coutinho. They're going to be thinking that we're going to play him. But if we play Malcolm, I can assure you that they're going to be a little bit surprised. And that adds an extra little bit of kind of like flavor for their fullbacks, for Luke Shaw and Ashley Young. So Malcolm, he needs to play that game. And now for my fourth point, I want to talk about one particular player not being ready. And that is Samuel Umtiti. In this game, Samuel Umtiti was awful. The very same way with Clement Lenglet, honestly. Like Samuel Chukwueze was completely just outrunning them. You know, Lenglet didn't know what was happening behind him, and the same with Samuel Umtiti. I've gotten some messages from you on Instagram, some of you guys saying that perhaps if we had another player, this could have, you know, be a different result. But I don't really think that. Samuel Chukwueze did a very good game, and that was going to happen nevertheless. And it doesn't really matter that we got two left-footed center backs because, I mean, most teams in the world play with two right-footed center backs, so why would it matter? The problem here for me is that we saw a Clement Lenglet which is very slow when it comes to like the pivot, you know, the quick acceleration once you pivot to have a player when it passes off you, like he just runs past you, that ability to just quickly turn and follow him, he's really slow at that. And we also saw Samuel Umtiti, which is just not up to scratch. He just have a lot of like rust on him, you know, you need to dust him off. And unfortunately, at this time at Barcelona, we don't have many opportunities where he's going to be able to do so. I believe that the next game Samuel Umtiti should play is against Real Sociedad, because in that game, we're not really too much playing for. So in that game, it could be a very good chance to get him in. But against Atletico Madrid and United, Lenglet for me still needs to be there. Umtiti, I don't know how this game affects his situation, but certainly it still makes us think that if he may get injuries in the future, he's not as good as returning and recovery. He needs a little bit of consistency, and he cannot be a player that just gets injured and impacts, perhaps like someone like Gareth Bale or players like that. So I don't know. It'll leave you up to you as well. What do you think of the performance of Umtiti in this game? And now the final thing that we need to talk about, and for me the most important of this video, is that Barcelona show that they want to be champions. This is the attitude of a champions. The other day I was watching the game between Liverpool and Spurs. And when you have a game that is just completely like tight, you don't know how you're going to win this, the result is 1-1, they pull out a known goal from a header of Mohamed Salah and they just get the 3 points. In this same Barcelona, hence it was a different situation, but still it was 4-2. Villarreal had everything in their locker to win, guys, everything. Messi was already on the field, the third and then fourth goal were scored with him on the field, and Barcelona had no business in equalizing this game. But we pulled through. 2 goals in the last 3 minutes from Messi and Suarez respectively gave us, well, the equalizer, and gave us the point. But this is the point of a champion. That's what makes you a team that wants to win a Liga or not. I'm certainly going to talk about Atletico Madrid in the preview. I'm going to mention how they're going to be boosted because they still lost points. But I wouldn't be that worried because the attitude that our players are showing is that they really want to win everything. Our season is very good. Like, we're in La Copa del Rey, in the final. We are still in the Champions League and La Liga is almost over and we are first with a very good margin. So the players know that and they have a unique opportunity to win 3 trophies. So they want this. So do not believe that they're just focusing on a mission in the Champions League. No, they're going for absolutely everything. And I'm happy that I'm seeing that. Because it could have been easy to be like Real Madrid and just focus on one competition. But no, they're trying to be the best and not just like the rest. But well, guys, that's going to be everything for today. Hopefully you have enjoyed. I'm going to be trying to use more face cams from now because certainly I've been missing them as well. And most particularly, I need to get back into the groove of doing more videos because due to this copyright strike, I won't be able to do in live stream, so videos may be just the way to go from now. I called them, I've sent an email, let's see if we can get it fixed. I'm not too optimistic, but there's always still a room for a miracle. So I'm gonna update you whether it's bad or good news, and guess that's just gonna be it. See you in the next one, take care, Ciao.